Hello everyone, welcome back to the Cursing Seamstress. Today is Sunday the 12th of December and today's been a good day so far. Yesterday the weather was very dreary, although it was 75 degrees. And that's not that unusual for northeastern North Carolina. You never know what December is going to bring. You have some really warm days and some pretty chilly days. Today, I think it's in the 60s and it's pretty sunny outside. It's actually a nice day. Let me tell you about today first. Today was a really nice day. My birthday is on Wednesday the 15th, and so my daughter asked if I wanted to spend time with her today, and of course I said yes. And so she ended up going to church with me along with the boys, and we had a really nice service, and it's really good that they were there. And afterward, we went to eat at an Italian restaurant, which is one of my favorite places to eat, and just had a really nice time. I made her something, and I'm going to get to that in just a minute, and I'll show you that, I guess, as the last thing. Dixie's trying to get my attention here. She's just, she just loves me way too much. But anyway, it's also getting close to Christmas time. So I've been Christmas shopping. I've been making some things for co-workers. I have, in the little area where I work, I'm gonna have to do something with Dixie. Stop. Let me put her away. Come here. Okay. All right. I put Dixie in the chair so she can't gnaw on my hand, which is what she was doing. So I have just a few co-workers. The department I work in is a department of me and my supervisor, but we are in a library, and there is one full-time librarian and two part-time librarians. So that's it. And those, just based on last year, what we did, because I've only been there for a year, we just celebrated among ourselves. So I'm planning on that again this year. And one of the girls is brand new, and so I made one of these triangle pencil cases for her. I put her name on it, and the inside is vintage fabric that you probably have seen before because I've made several things from it. So that's for her, along with some old Whale Company bar soap and candles. For my supervisor, who does not watch this channel, I made her this tote. It's not real big, but it's big enough that you could use it for groceries or library books, or just if you're hauling in some stuff for work and you can't carry it all in your hands. And I just put some of this fabric that I actually bought with my serger a few years ago, and it's red, and it goes well with the red on the embroidered part. So that's what's happening with me. I think I mentioned to you that I inherited a bunch of my mother's linens. I inherited a bunch of beautiful tablecloths, and I really don't use tablecloths, but she had lovely tablecloths. Dixie. Okay, she's pulling the remnants from my serger off. But I don't use linen fancy tablecloths. I don't use tablecloths at all. And so I gave a lot to thrift stores and things like that, but I had a few, and I decided to try to use them in a pattern. And the pattern I chose is by a company I've never made from. I'm looking over at my computer screen. It's SewLaTiDa Vintage, And I may put a clip in here. I bought 2 patterns from them. The one I made for my daughter is called Dixie, sit down. The Stevie dress. And it was designed for the Stevie Nicks look from Fleetwood Mac. She would often wear loose-fitting, flowy, gathered type clothing, and so the creator of this pattern had her in mind, and it's called the Stevie dress. So I saw it and I thought it was beautiful. Then I had the brilliant idea of using my mom's tablecloths for the fabric, and so that's what I did. It came out really nice. I've done everything except for hem it. The linen sewed beautifully. I had to be careful of some of the stains, but this tablecloth was pretty good. There were a few stains on it, but I managed to evade them. And it was very nice to work with. I had another tablecloth that I used for the sleeves. This pattern gives you several options. You can either have a long bell sleeve, or you can have a sleeve that has elastic in it, or you can do the shorter sleeve with a gathered frill. That's the one I did. The frill I put on it is much thinner, narrower than the one that I should have cut out. I didn't want a big wide one, and I knew my daughter would not like something that hung over and all. She has very long arms. She's 6 feet tall. She's short-waisted, but she's all legs. So there is also an option to have a tie that fits at the waistline and ties in the back. I omitted that. And there's an option to just hem the bottom. You can have a shirt, Stevie dress, a Stevie shirt if you want to, or you can have the dress. I made the dress and I lengthened it by about 3 inches because she's so tall. But you also have the option of stopping at the hem and just hemming it, or for the dress you can add a gathered piece, not a flounce, but a gathered piece. I absolutely hate gathering. So when I did the gathers for the sleeves, I just used the serger method and serged a long strip of fabric and put it on and just cut it where the end of the sleeve was to make it fit. And so I didn't really know how to do that as well with the skirt part that attached to the bodice. So I ended up doing the old-fashioned way, and the way that the pattern recommended, which was to sew the sides together and do a line of 2 long stitches on each side, and then gather it up and then match the markings that are on the bodice. I did that. It's a miserable thing to do, but I did it. And everything's done except for the hem. I had the dress with me in the car. We drove separately to the restaurant after church, to church and to the restaurant. And I told her on the way home, I said, I'm going to follow you home because I got you something. I want you to try it on. And so she did. And she hated it. She doesn't like it at all. It's too baggy. She wouldn't be able to wear it anywhere. And that's fine. My feelings are not hurt. I may be able to sell it at one of the shops where I sell things. The shops where I sell things, especially one of them, is more into vintagey types of things, more creative types of things. So I think what I'm going to do is not put the bottom piece on there, the bottom gathered piece, and just hem it and put a price on it and see if anybody bites on it. It's overlocked and everything. It's well made. I do have to, after I hem it, I'm going to wash it on gentle and iron it because it is a linen, to make it look decent, and just see what happens. I love it, and I wouldn't mind having this for me. I'm not sure where I would wear it, but to me it just looks like the sort of dress where you would wear it on a summer day around the house, or if you're having friends over in the yard to sit around the bonfire or whatever, and have a beer or chat or whatever. But yeah, so she was not crazy about it at all. So I have it, and I'll show it to you. I think it's a lovely pattern. The instructions were very good, but you really don't need great instructions because it's such a simple make. It's a bodice, it's a V-neck, the back of the neck is round, the sleeves are set in, and then the gathered skirt just attaches to the bodice. So I'll show it to you and see what you think. Okay, so I have it on this half mannequin thingy. I still have markings on it where, you want to make sure this V comes out really well. So I always take a water-soluble marker and mark all the way down for the seam allowance until they meet, so I get that crisp look here. And this is top stitched for a nice look, so the facing's not going to pop up or anything like that. This is the sleeve. This is the part that I told you I cut narrower. I didn't do as deep a piece. I think the original piece might have been about 6 inches or so. So this is out of a different tablecloth than the body of the dress. And so this is the hellacious gathering that I had to do. This is the back here, round neck, and it's just so pretty, and it's so, it's just so pristine looking in the white, and I mean, I love it. I just think it's beautiful. This is a size 10. My daughter's waist is a 29. That's the measurement that I went by. I didn't say this, but for this skirt, I did take a risk, not that big of a risk, but I cut off about an extra ½ inch on each side. That way it wouldn't affect the markings that I had already put for the center and everything. Just so I wouldn't have to gather as much. I could have probably cut off a little bit more, but anyway, I didn't want to mess it up. But that's it. It's just a lovely dress. I mean, I could even see it. I don't know how it would work with the set-in sleeves, but it almost looks like a nightgown. But I don't think it'd be comfortable, sleeping in these sleeves. But that's it. So I do recommend this pattern, except for the gathers. There's no way around doing those. That's it. So a lot of work without a whole bunch of return, but I will say that it did give me some... No, sit down. It did give me some experience. Not that I haven't gathered things before, but it was fun. And now I know a little bit about SewLaTiDa Vintage. The other pattern I downloaded, I have not done anything with it, but it is so attractive. I'll try to put a picture in, but it's called the Blitz, and it is a retro, sort of like a 30s dress. And I'll let you look at that. I think that it would be for myself. So I think that's maybe what I'll do after I finish a couple of other items that I probably should go ahead and cut out and sew together. That's it. I hope you are doing well. And I should be back in another week or so. And I'll let you know my progress on whatever I'm sewing, including the Blitz dress. So have a safe week and a good week, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.